Example, ordinary Nolad. So ordinary meaning that it was there, but the status changed. Food which was ordinarily designated for human consumption, or here we go, and then changed and became fit only for animals' consumption is considered ordinary Nolad. Right? That's a good examples. Ordinary Nolad. Thus, food that became spoiled on Yom Tov, so that it is no longer fit for human consumption, is Muktzeh on Yom Tov. Right? On Yom Tov it is Muktzeh. 1 second. On Yom Tov it is Muktzeh, but animals still can eat it, right? Right. Okay. Similarly, after eating meat, right, the leftover bones are fit only for consumption of dogs. Muktzeh on Yom Tov. Right. So like it is a Muktzeh, but there is a still permitted use if you can feed your dogs. Right, but here's is a case. So as an example, something was fit for human consumption, this piece of chicken, and now became whatever leftover became Muktzeh. These are this in the category Muktzeh mechamas gufa, inherently Muktzeh. Since such a bonds may not be moved directly, we will provide some solution for removal the meat and chicken bones on Yom Tov. So I mean, when you clean from your plate and you have some leftover on this plate, there is no problem. You can move the plate because it never became. I don't want to overcomplicate things. Bosses. So bosses is something. Actually, no, but it's never become bosses. It's never bosses. It's a base for a Muktzeh, like only on set on Shabbos on Yom Tov. So here it's not bosses because on set it was allowed. Okay, no problem. I'll take it back. So let's see. If bones contain some food remains, they're not considered Muktzeh. So what is the food remains? Even bone marrow. So it is edible, right? So there is no problem. It's kosher, edible. So even, for example, this time you don't want to eat the bone marrow, so right, it's still not Muktzeh. Okay. Or you have a piece of meat attached. Even that doesn't matter how big is it. B, the bones contain no food, but they on a plate, which also has on it morsel of food, some salad dressing or something, like a few drops. That's food, a few crumbs from bread. It is permitted to carry the plate to the trash can. Okay, right? Because plate is not Muktzeh, and there is something on the plate that is not Muktzeh as well. Even when one is even permitted to put morsel of food on a plate in order to be able to carry the plate to the trash can. So I think that's a great example. So in the case of need, I'm not sure. Like for example, if a person had ribs, right? So and they finish and only pieces of bone left. Okay, so what exactly there is nothing else. So in this case, yeah, you can put a few drops or something, right? Whatever, 1 crumb of the bread, and it's not Muktzeh. Okay. Next one, C. If the bones fell into onto the table, and one need to use the part of the table, or one wants the table clean and narrow of Yom Tov, it is permissible to use a napkin or utensils, for example, knife, to push the bones into a plate, which may be then emptied into the trash can. Okay, so let's do this again. So it's something like, of course, don't do it like intentionally. For example, if you eat nuts, right, and you shell nuts, so don't put these shells on a table. Put it first. It's disgusting, but that's another story, right? So put them on a plate if you need to do that. right? Put them on a plate, but even if it's on a table, so you can move it, as I said, with a napkin, not directly. So indirect moving, only because you need the table. And I would say that the need of the table, even to say Birchas Hamazon, right? So it says in prerequisites on how we say Birchas Hamazon. Of course, like all of these things that every Haftarah, modest, the hair of a woman, if she's married, covered, this and that, all of these things understand. But plus, the table, like when you bless Hashem, you say this prayer, the table must be clean. I mean, if it's a clean, like a cup from your wine, like from whatever, like from the juice, like a glass from the juice, it's not dirty. If it bothers you, please take out, right? There is no problem. But we're talking about the dirty plates for sure. It's not proper. So, and you can take them out even after the third meal, right? The third meal, Seudah Shlishi, and like in many cases, if its plate is clean, for example, a clean plate, you ate something. I don't know whatever you ate. For example, you had a piece of bread, right, and you put some spread on it, right, and that's how you ate, and your plate is clean. So you can keep this plate. It's not dirty. It's not disrespect to say Birchas Hamazon. If you want to take out, so it's not going to be. And if you want to take it out, so it's not going to be preparation for the next day because you're not going to use the table, but it's going to be in honor of saying Birchas Hamazon. Continue. D. The bones, if the bones are repugnant and would disturb the person enjoying Yom Tov, it is permissible to remove them outright. So that's another like great rule. So if something is disgusting to you, so you're allowed to move these things, right? Something that is going to smell bad or something like after fish. Fish is very delicious, but if it stays on like in the heat, it's not going to smell so good. Right, so right. I mean, from plate, so you would be allowed to wash the plate a little. Not wash, but like rinse at least. Right, so not because you prepare it for the next day, but because of the smell. If you're not going to rinse it now, it's going to smell. Okay, so and bones again, if it's repugnant from fish, of course. I mean, if with eating fish with bones on Yom Tov or Shabbos, it's a little complicated, meaning that you're not allowed to remove bones from the fish, but you're allowed to remove fish from the bones. So if you're careful and your family is careful to keep this rule, there is no problem. But if you're one of these people who would forget, right? So I mean, like one person like continue asking, he said, did we have a class yesterday? I say, of course we have a class. We call you. What do you mean? Why would we not have a class? So no, I didn't have a call. I didn't see. Okay, so of course we call you. So I mean, this person like that. Of course, I mean, he forgot his phone. He left it. He forgot what day is it, what time is it. Okay, so a person like that, don't do it. Don't eat fish with bones. Absolutely not. So if you have a salmon fillet, maybe from once in like 17 years, you're going to get the bone in the salmon. That's a different story. So this person would be allowed, but otherwise, don't do it. But if you're careful and you're going to remove only fish from bones and remove both ones from your mouth or right before you eat, so there is no problem. Okay. So it depends what kind of person you are. So don't trust yourself that I'm all my days I behave in this, but on Shabbos I'm going to behave differently. Okay. So let me quickly see if we have any questions. 1 second. Before we continue to the next part. Okay, so let's see. 1 second, sorry. Shalom Kavod. Continue with the Muktzeh topic. I don't know if Eruv is the right expression or just Sephardic, but they used to cook an egg for used to cook an egg for cooking during Yom Tov. Oh, no, okay. I understand that it's called Eruv Tavshilin. Yeah. Also, but at home. Okay. Actually, there are two blessings in a Siddur that should be said before Yom Tov cooking. Thank you, Kodrav. Okay, so that's a different story. So let me. There is Eruv Tavshilin, Eruv Chatzerois. So Eruv Tavshilin is like a halakhic mechanism when we're allowed to cook on Yom Tov for Shabbos. That's when we need to make the Eruv, right? So Eruv, when we call Eruv, usually without any classification, it's Eruv that allow us to carry things on Shabbos or on Shabbos, right? So, for example, you have like a common yard, right, with your neighbors, like let's say they're Jews. If it's not Jews, it's complicated, but with the Jews, so you can use your yard, right, together, right? You can bring the baby carriages, you can bring books outside, you can sit in the shadow, you can enjoy it. That's how when you need this Eruv, right? But this Eruv Tavshilin is only needed when you have 3 days. So you have 2 days of Yom Tov and plus Shabbos. So that's when the last time was it? I don't know. It was some few years ago maybe. Right. So in this case, yes, you make these two blessings. You have two cooked food, one cooked food. Usually we do eggs because the egg is the easiest to take the smaller amount of space, right? Easily identifiable. Right, and then you have something that is one is cooked and one is baked. So meaning that you allow yourself to bake and cook whatever you need to do on Yom Tov for the sake of Shabbos. So with these two items, one cooked and one baked, you say that I started preparation before Yom Tov. So you say before Yom Tov, right? Before Yom Tov. So you transfer to a member of your family, right? And you say this Eruv, other people also in my town can cook and stuff like that. Also you can prepare candles, right, on Yom Tov, because candles, yeah, they're not Muktzeh, but only if there is a practical use. But in this case, preparation for Shabbos would not be allowed. You understand? But on Shabbos, you're not allowed to on Shabbos, after let's say a sunset, you're not allowed to do all of the things on Shabbos, right? You're not allowed to light the candles, anything. So when there are 2 days on Yom Tov plus Shabbos, so you must do all of the preparation of the cooking, candles, this and that before the Shabbos starts. That's why, and right. So with this Eruv Tavshilin, so you allow yourself. So you said I started process before the Yom Tov, right? Before Yom Tov, and I'm going to continue on Yom Tov for the sake of Shabbos. That's Eruv Tavshilin. Yes. So Muktzeh, when we say Muktzeh, it's Eruv. When we say Eruv, it's Eruv for carrying. Two separate, one word, but two separate things. So it's like permission. Very good question. So next one. I have a question about Muktzeh in newborn babies. Absolute Nolad on Shabbos, 100%. Right, but since it is pikuach nefesh, so if we don't take care of them, they're going to not going to live. Let's put it this way. So we are obligated to do everything possible for them to save their life. For sure, their life is in danger, and unless we take care of them. So very good question. They're Muktzeh, yes. They're Nolad, but unfortunately, in olden days. It's very sad. Many babies, if they was carried by 8 months. So today that we have incubators and even 7 months, 8 months, they 6 months, right? So you put an incubator, and the survival rate is pretty high, But in olden days, not high. So most likely, unfortunately, if it's baby born before before 9 months, I mean, our sage is new, so the baby would be muktzeh, unfortunately. So because under 30 days, because most likely the baby is going to die, most likely. So that's very sad. Of course, with today's technology, with some things change, but that's the thing. Okay. Okay. But if you know that you have a doctor that can save the baby, take care of, that's of course that's a different story.